Good afternoon, Linda. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you, Peter.
Jolly good, jolly good. It's great to see you. So, Linda, tell me a little about yourself and your business, please.
I'm Linda van der Horst. I came to Northern Ireland in 2019 from the Netherlands. So I always had a company there, but it was sort of at the side of my IT career. I dropped my IT career when I came over here and I fully went for my passion, which is I'm a centered riding instructor. I coach riders where they are, and it doesn't matter which discipline they are in or what type of horse they are. Centered riding is all about the body awareness. So I've been a teacher for over 20 years. I looked it up. Centered riding, official name. I've been that for 22 years. And basically you never stop learning. So I've always added stuff to my teaching and knowledge. I went into complementary medicine. I know a lot about massage and equine body work. So if there's issue with the horse, I can help with that as well. And focusing on the body awareness through centered riding, I really work with the person, their breathing, where they are, and get them connected.
Okay, very good. And Linda, whenever you were growing up, is this what you always wanted to do?
I have always been riding horses. I wanted to be a vet to start out with, but that's a really, really tough training, and it didn't work out for me to go in that direction. So I did later a complementary medicine that was for all animals. So I kept a connection with the animals, but horses are sort of leading in my life. And they're always been primary, most brilliant during my complementary medicine. I had a traineeship in Mongolia, following wild herds of horses, just to see how they behave and then take that back here and how can I use that in my teaching. So yeah, horse has been the red thread through my whole life.
Okay, very good. And who would be your ideal customer? Linda, who would be your ideal customer?
My ideal customer is the person who really wants to get into a partnership with their horse and really understand their behavior and dive into how they function and how they can train optimally, and yeah, who really want to make that extra step. And when you got a connection, your physical aids become less and less. So you can either kick them forward, or if you have the connection, you think forward and you'll go together. That's sort of the difference. So you minimize your aids and you can be so finely tuned together. And that's just beautiful to be.
And of all the actions that you've taken because of the pandemic, Linda, are there any that will remain as part of your business ongoing?
Not really, actually. I mean, teaching, I'm always outdoors. So I'm always in the fresh air. I'm never in closed areas. So it's also a healthy environment. Could also be very cold. When I go from one yard to the other, I always have in my backyard that you don't want to spread disease. Even before the pandemic, that's sort of normal. Then if I go from one yard to the other, that I wash my hands and I think of hygiene. And yeah, the pandemic hit that down even harder for really focus on that. But yes, I'm always outside. So yeah.
Okay, all right. And what would you say has been your biggest learning since becoming a business owner?
Well, since I came to Northern Ireland, I really focused on the passion, the business as a business. Did all the trainings offered by the borough and Go For It program, things like that. But actually over years, I think don't push too hard. I'm really a perfectionist who always wanted to really go for it and keep pushing and doing. But you just have to step back a bit and let things organically grow. And we're in Northern Ireland. Word of mouth is the most important way of getting your message across. So I'll just walk the talk. I work with the horses and I put the videos online and people can see how I work. and that's just that grows and that networks, and then people talk about it, and just getting a bit more laid back. That's the biggest biggest challenge, but the biggest learning I got.
Okay. And who's the first person that comes to mind when you think of the word success?
Oh, that's a difficult question, because what is success? um I don't think of success as achieving goals and getting there. So for me, it's a bit more mellow. For someone, what really comes to mind is was being a great model for me, Wendy Murdoch. I did my centered writing training with her, and she's someone who always innovates and keeps on discovering new areas, developing her own products. So that's, yeah, that's for me someone to look up to. Yes, that's brilliant.
Good example. And you make a great point. Success means so many different things for different people. It's a great point. And what's the biggest challenge that that you're facing in your business at the minute?
The biggest challenge, yeah, probably getting the word out, because in the beginning I did clinics and advertising in newspapers, but I don't really get new clients through that. They really have to sort of get to know me or hear about me. So my biggest challenge is to understand that business fluctuates. Also, the summer season, they go in the field, or there's a competition season and they don't have time for training. So when there's time for training, they're there and then they drop away again. So it fluctuates, and that's sort of, yeah, that's, I find that challenging.
Okay. And what gives you the most inspiration? What inspires you the most today?
What inspires me the most is when, like, I had a client, I worked with the horse. I also rode a horse because I needed a horse for myself. I worked with them for 2 years, and I taught the owner and I taught the horse. The owner got more information, more knowledge. The horse got fitter and better in itself. They moved off to Cork now, but the horse is a very happy and healthy horse, and the owner has now so much knowledge that she understands him better. She doesn't have to kick him forward anymore, and it's just she can, if she wants to go with a trailer now, she can put him in front of the trailer and he'll load himself. That's the partnership they got now, and yeah, that's what makes me happy. I got a healthy horse and an owner who understands it.
Very good. And if it were possible, Linda, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self?
Yeah, don't be so very precise and perfectionist, and just take it easy a bit more and enjoy life when it's there in front of you.
Yeah, that's great advice. Great advice. And are there any? I can see by complete coincidence you've got your website behind you there. So if somebody wanted to get in touch with you or reach out or avail of your services, what would be the best way to go about that?
Yeah, like on my website, lindavdhorst.com, you can find all the information there, like telephone numbers or my Facebook page. Yeah, I think that would be the best route.
All right, brilliant. And are there any offers at all? Are there any enticements that you have for people to get them on board as a centered writing instructee for the first time?
Yes, like with centered writing, what I do is I bring an awareness, and with sort of 5 lessons, a writer will have a package of knowledge where they can go on their own. So what I usually offer is we do 5 lessons, and then you get a free bodywork session for your horse or a surefoot session for your horse, and that's also something to help with his health and well-being. So you get a little extra if you buy 5 lessons, and with those 5 lessons, you really have a complete set, and you can go further with that.
Brilliant. That's great. Well, Linda van der Horst, thank you very much for your time this afternoon and telling us about your story. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of people who will be looking to reach out and find out a little bit more. But thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you, Peter, for the interview.